Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Janani. It's been a while, but I'm here today with a simple tutorial. I'm going to show you guys how I made these fun retro patterned earrings. These are the polymer clay colors I chose, and I ran them through the pasta machine on about the third thickest setting. For this technique, you need an extruder. The one I use is from Amazon, so I will link it down in the description box for you guys. Also, for this technique, you will need the square die for the extruder. Also, make sure your polymer clay is conditioned very well. This will ensure that we will have a smooth extrusion. For this next step, you can either use a circle cutter that is the width of your extruder's body, or I like to use the edge of the extruder itself. This genius idea is from the polymer clay tutor here. Using this, I cut myself about 10 circles from each color. So then I stack these circles in a pattern. You can choose to stack them randomly, even add 2 circles to build up a concentration. It is totally up to you how you want your pattern to be. I like to have my clay stack a little shorter and a little narrower than the extruder's body, so I went ahead and rolled the stack to make sure it's also blended together nice. I cranked my extruder all the way to the end and I pushed the stack in. And then I attached my square die on and began extruding. It won't look like much, but keep extruding until you come to the end. Okay, to make sure that your extrusion process is easy and no cracks, make sure you condition your polymer clay. Then I cut the extruded snake in 4s and stacked them next to each other. I cut this set in half and stacked it on top and repeated it one more time. I used an acrylic block to push all sides and carefully reduce the cane a little bit, making sure everything is nice and bonded. To make it easier for me to cut this cane, I left it on the freezer for about 10 to 20 minutes. Here I am cutting onto the cane, revealing the beautiful pattern. I carefully cut slices of the cane, trying to keep them even as much as I could. Then I arranged the slices into a slab. While I do that, if you're interested, I will have these earrings available on my Etsy store next few days. Next, I carefully burnished and rolled the slab. You can use depth guides to make sure that you have an even thickness when rolling. I actually added a scrap sheet of clay underneath the slab. I ran it through the pasta machine on the second thickest setting, which is about 3 mm. I did this because I actually enjoyed the stretch look on this pattern. Here I'm dusting some cornstarch to make sure that my 3D printed cutters does not get stuck to my clay. Then I use various cutters to cut the shapes for my earrings. And of course, I tried to do a satisfying skeleton pole for you guys, but like always, I failed. Anyhow, I also cut some contrasting color components to go with these pieces. Then I baked these for an hour in 275 Fahrenheit with a foil sheet cover. Here is another colorway that I did. After they were nice and cooled down, I moved on to sanding. I used my cordless rotary tool to drill holes and sand. Like always, I will leave these tools and supplies in the description box. I did a little wet surface sanding using 1000 and 2000 grit sandpaper. Since I decided not to apply any varnishes or resin on these, it helped the pieces look nice and even. After these pieces were nice and dried, I added jump rings and earring bags. To add the earring bags, I like to use Loctite super glue and then add some UV resin to make it stronger. When adding the UV resin, I like to cover a full area if I was able, but if not, I like to add at least a couple of millimeters around the post so it'll be nice and secured. And this marks the end of this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and tag me on your creations if you were inspired by this. Thank you so much for sticking with me, and see you guys on the next one.